Now please help me in welcoming the brother of one of tonight's inductees, Mike Green.
Thank you very much, Kelsey. Can everybody hear me out there?
Yes.
Certainly enjoying myself so far, with the opportunity to meet some old friends and make some new friends. Good evening. My name is Mike Green. I have the duty of introducing one of the nominees of the day. But first of all, I want to thank Mr. Richard Miles, the coordinator of this great Hall of Fame dinner today. Also, I want to tip my hat to the former Hall of Fame inductees in the past. Miles, I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to make this introduction and presentation. To the Cardozo Sports Hall of Fame Committee, Master Ceremonies Kelsey, past inductees, to the family and friends of today's honorees, and of course, the Hall of Fame class of 2012, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of introducing the first 2013 Cardozo Hall of Fame inductee this evening. Her name is Myra Ramona Green Robinson. I have a special connection to this particular honoree, and I am pleased that she'll be joining me at this podium shortly. Before Myra entered Francis L. Cardozo High School in 1971 as a 10th grader, she was already an accomplished student and athlete in the city of Washington, D.C. As an elementary school student and athlete in this city, she developed a love for kickball, basketball, dodgeball, and hopscotch. When she entered Banneker Junior High School, she also acquired an interest in track, baseball, volleyball, and double dutch. You all remember double dutch, don't you? As an 8th grader at Banneker in 1970, she became the first person in her family to fly on an airplane when she traveled to Paris, France with her first class on a European trip, which included visits to Paris and London, England. That same year in 1970, one day after school, she walked down to the Banneker school track with a classmate and encountered a gentleman with a sweatsuit and a whistle. That day, she would inquire about running track and field. That gentleman told her to run 4 laps around the track, and I'd talk to you after you finished. After completing her run, Banneker's famed track coach, McElwain, simply said, "Myra, welcome to the Travelers Track Club." Myra would go on to compete as a team track star at the Penn Relays in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the events of the 200 meters and the 4x100 relay. She was also a member of a 4-girl track relay team that set a world record in the 4x400 relay at the Tennessee Williams Track Invitational in Virginia during that period. Myra's early foundation as an athlete would help her excel and achieve at Cardozo, where she would follow in the footsteps of her big sister, Dolores Green, as an athlete, and where Myra would eventually let her in 3 sports: track, softball, and basketball. As a sophomore at Cardozo in 1972, Myra was able to take her athletic achievements to another level when she helped the Lady Clerks to the DC NII basketball girls Final Four. In 1973, represented an extraordinary year in America and in Washington, D.C. It was a year that brought us top R&B singles, Superstition by Stevie Wonder, Love Train by the OJs, and Let's Get It On by who? Marvin Gaye. At Cardozo, however, it was a year that brought notoriety to the school's outstanding marching band and the traditional Cardozo homecoming party and parade. And let's not forget, it was the year that introduced the Washington area to a dynamic Cardozo High School girls basketball team, which featured one of your honorees today. It was a special team with girls nicknamed the Jet, Tree, and of course, MG, Smooth Shooting MG. The previous year in 1972, Cardozo girls team had come up a little short in the DC girls title game. However, a year later, in 1973, disappointment turned to celebration under the leadership of legendary Cardozo coach Sylvia Grooms, when the Lady Clerks capped off a remarkable championship season when they beat McKinley Tech for the DC girls inner high basketball title. When Margaret finished her basketball career at Cardozo in 1974, she was one of the school's all-time leaders in scoring, assists, and steals. And she helped lead Cardozo to a phenomenal 3 straight DC NII girls basketball Final Fours. She made the DC NII girls basketball Final Four team 3 times, in 1972, 1973, and 1974. She also received the honor of being selected All-NII All-Star in basketball from 1972 and through 1974 as well. Because of her team's 1973 accomplishments, Myra holds the distinction of playing on one of the best teams in the history of track basketball in Washington, D.C. I left the barber shop yesterday, and I was telling the guys that my sister would be inducted in the Cardozo Sports Hall of Fame. Somebody said, she was like that? She was all that? Could she go? I simply said, yes indeed, baby, yes indeed. In 1974, Myra enrolled at Bowie State College in Bowie, Maryland. She led it for 4 years as the starting point guard for Bowie's women's basketball team, leading her team to the Maryland Association of Intercollegiate Athletics for Women Championship in 1978 rather. 1978 was a banner year for Myra because she was also crowned Miss Bowie State College, and she was featured as a Black College Campus Queen in Ebony magazine that year as well. Myra graduated from Bowie in 1979, and she is currently employed as a supervisory auditor at the Defense Contract Audit Agency in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming one of the best athletes that put on a sports uniform at Cardozo High School, a teenage world traveler, a beauty queen, a world-class track star, mother of 3, grandmother of 4, sister to Dolores, Ronald, and Michael, one of the finest athletes to participate in high school sports in Washington, D.C., second of 4 children of John and Barbara Green, number 24 in the Cardozo purple and white, my big sister. Say hello to Myra Green Robinson. Before she begins her speech, the family has a special presentation. With your indulgence, Richard Miles have a special plaque for it. I said this thing 7 times, and I didn't even get through it, but I got through it today. Yeah, come on up, Miles. You want to read it for? Congratulations to Myra Green Robinson for your induction into the Cardozo High School Sports Hall of Fame and distinguished athletic achievements in track, softball, and baseball. April 24, 2013, from the Robert John extended family. Myra Green.
Before Mara say something, you can hug me now, you're hugging me mine. We need to teach you all the time.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to give honor to God for making this day in every way possible.
Amen.
I also want to thank my family and friends for coming out to celebrate this day with me. I want to thank the Washington Chiefs and Mr. Richard Miles for presenting the Hall of Fame. I want to thank my brother for that lovely introduction. It was wonderful. I was wondering who he was talking about. Now I know. Okay. When I was, as he said, about 13 years old,
That's your brother, tell you. See, you think I'm still teaching. That's your brother, go right ahead, man, take your time.
okay, when I was coming up, and I was about, I guess, 13 years old, and I grew up on Kennedy Street, and across the street was Bruce Elementary School. So all I had to do was come outside and go across the street and play on the playground. So we used to play on the playground, and then one day, these big boys came around the playground. And at first I was mad at these big boys, so they would tell us to get off the playground and go over to that side and play. But one day, they started playing basketball. And I got interested in what they were doing. So I would just go and sit on the sliding board. And today, one of those big boys are here. His name is Mr. Wesley Boyd. I tracked him down because I wanted him to be here because he inspired me, and all of the big boys in his era inspired me to go on and play basketball. They taught me a few moves here and there, and I just want him to stand up because he's been my inspiration. The people like you inspired me and taught me how to play ball and just paved the way for me. So I just wanted to thank her for this day. Also, I would like to thank my brothers and my sisters. And my sister, I have one. They are my number one thing. They are my inspiration. They travel and watch me play ball. I mean, I don't know which brother is the biggest fan, but they are my thing. I won't say which one it is, but they are both my things. They, as my brother spoke and he said to me, said what he said about me, I'm grateful and I'm honored that I was able to.
Take your time.